Hey. So you made it to the final section of chapter 7, part 5. In this part, Dr. Joe shares real life examples from people who attended his workshops and learned to cultivate heart coherence. So these stories are living proof that this isn't just a theory, it's transformation. People with real life challenges use these tools to shift into elevated states of being, regulate their nervous systems, and witness changes in their bodies, relationships, and overall lives. I always find these stories powerful because they remind us of what's possible when we stay committed to the practice, even when we don't see immediate results, which is not always likely. So, if you've been doing the meditations, tuning into your heart, staying faithful to your future, let these stories continue to encourage you. The change is happening, even if it's still unfolding. Let's get into it. Examples from our workshops. To see an example of how heart coherence creates brain coherence, take a look at graphics 8A and 8B in the color insert. The first image shows relatively low normal beta brainwave patterns before the person begins to create coherence. The second image shows a significant change once the person moves into sustained heart coherence just a few seconds later. That's because the heart acts as an amplifier to influence the brain to create very coherent synchronized alpha brainwaves. And then he goes into figures 7.3a and 7.3b. So let me just show you guys 7.3a. First of all, he said 8a and 8b. This is graphic. Ooh, so overexposed. This over here is graphic 8A and AB. 8AB, AB. I don't know if you could tell the difference, but the spikes, they're spikes. Um, and then I think he said 7.3. Y'all know how I am with these graphics. Anyways, we're gonna skip that part because I try to show the graphics, but it doesn't always translate. So we'll get back to that part. Not so great. But anyway, I tried. It says in figure 7.3a and 7.3b, you will see an HRV analysis from one of our students taken at an advanced workshop. She's having a pretty amazing day. The first chart in figure 7.3a represents two meditations, one in the morning and one right before lunch, and each block represents 5 minutes of elapsed time. Where you see the first gray arrow on the top of the scan pointing down to the right is when she went into a sustained heart coherence. During our 7 a.m. meditation, she maintained this state for more than 50 minutes until you see the second arrow pointing down to the left. At the bottom of the scan, where you see the second gray arrow pointing down to the right, is when she again went into heart coherence for about 38 minutes during the meditation just before lunch, ending with the second gray arrow pointing down to the left. You can see she is developing the skill. So here are the charts. That's why I didn't know where it was. Oh, come on. Here we go. All right. Y'all know I'm terrible with this. Look at this. Oh, screenshot. Oh, no. There we go. Is that it? Yep. That's it. Screenshot. Is it worth it? Come on. Come back. No. See, this is why I don't do it because it's hard to get the visuals back. Anyways, here we go. Now look at figure 7.3b. In the next meditation later that afternoon, if you glance between the two gray arrows at the top of the figure, you can see that she goes into heart coherence again for almost 45 minutes. What makes this reading so fascinating, however, is what happens later that evening around 8 p.m. You'll see the second set of gray arrows pointing inward. Since there was no meditation taking place at the time, we asked her later what she had experienced. Her heart went into super coherence for more than an hour while she was in her normal level of wakefulness. She told us she'd been getting ready for bed when suddenly she felt an overwhelming feeling of love. It was so strong that she had to lie down and surrender to it. Her heart spontaneously went into heart coherence, and for an hour and 10 minutes, while she lay on her bed, she fell deeply in love with her life. She sustained a change in her autonomic nervous system. Where you see the last arrow is where she said she rolled over on her side and fell asleep. That's not a bad way to end your day. Wouldn't you agree? I would agree. So ponder this. You know how easy it is to think a fearful or anxious thought about a future event that hasn't happened? And in your mind, emotionally embrace this fictional outcome over and over? I think we all do. Mm. And you know how the more energy you feed the thought, the more you ruminate over the possible outcomes, and eventually those thoughts deliver you to a worst case scenario? It's the emotions that are driving those thoughts. You've conditioned your body to be the mind in fear and anxiety. If this continues over a long period of time, your body may have a panic attack, an autonomic, spontaneous bodily function that your conscious mind can't control. But what if instead of conditioning the body to the mind of fear and anxiety, you experience sustained elevated emotions and conditioned your body to the mind of love and coherence? Instead of being afraid and dreading that a panic attack is going to happen again, you get excited and look forward to the prospect of having an autonomic love attack. Figure 7.4 shows three more examples of students who are able to sustain heart coherence for extended periods of time. If you look closely, you'll see that their hearts are all responding to a consistent state of elevated emotions for about 45 minutes. That is, their bodies are responding to a new mind. I'd say that's pretty supernatural. Figures 7.5a and 7.5b demonstrate two examples of people with very poor heart rate variability, noted with the two sets of black arrows pointing upward in the natural waking state. Take a look at the changes in heart rate variability when they practice heart coherence, shown in the area between the gray arrows pointing inward. Even if it's only for 8 to 15 minutes, these students are changing their biology. And this is why I always tell people, even if you start meditating with 5 to 10 minutes, that's more than enough to continue to interrupt the patterns of your previous conditioning. So, yes, any little bit helps, but the longer you can sustain it, obviously you'll start to see results shift in your life a lot faster. Heart coherence meditation. This meditation is based on the heart lock in technique developed by the Heart Math Institute. So you'll close your eyes, allow your body to relax, and bring your attention to your heart. You'll start breathing in and out from the heart center. So you'll be focusing your attention on that heart center, wherever your heart is in that area. He says, when your mind wanders, you're going to start breathing in and out from the heart center and continue to do this more slowly and deeply. And when your mind wanders, keep returning your attention and awareness to your chest, your heart, and your breath. Next, while you rest your attention in your fourth center, this center, the heart center, bring up some elevated emotions while continuing to breathe in and out of your heart center. Once you feel these heartfelt emotions in your chest area, send that energy out beyond your body and marry it with your intention. You'll continue to broadcast that energy and intention all around you, starting with 10 minutes and try to extend the time you practice every day. So, exactly how he explained it is how you do it. There's no wrong way to do it. However, your brain processes the instructions that he just gave in this part, where he says to breathe into that heart space in and out slowly and deeply, and then bring your attention and awareness to elevated emotions. I like to focus on my 2-year-old nephew or a cute little baby or some puppies or things that easily bring me into a state of gratitude or joy as I breathe into that heart center. I imagine my nephew laughing. He has the cutest laugh. He's a little baby. And so I hear his laughter in my head and I'm breathing into my heart center in and out very deeply. And then, as he said, you're going to send that energy out beyond your body. So now I'm going to focus on, my surrounding areas and just send out that good feeling vibe in my own way, however my brain processes what that means. And then I'm going to marry it with my intention of just feeling really good, or whatever my intention is as I'm doing that meditation. Maybe it's to have a good outcome during my meeting at work. Maybe it's to manifest some money. I don't know, whatever that may be for you. And you're going to continue to broadcast that energy and that intention all around you. Start with 10 minutes and try to bring your practice up to a little bit more than that, but try to practice every day. He says, eventually, when you come to know what it feels like in your body to experience these elevated emotions, you can practice throughout your day with your eyes open. You'll learn more about how to do this in chapter 9, which is the walking meditation chapter. You might even set a reminder on your phone for 4 times a day. And when it goes off, take a minute or two to just feel those elevated emotions. And by the way, this is actually really effective. So if you set a reminder in your phone, it'll just remind you to tap in and practice good feeling emotions throughout your day. And that's another amazing way to recondition your body to a new mind on purpose. So that concludes part 5. And I would say those stories gave us a glimpse into what happens when the heart becomes the anchor for how we live and how we feel. And more than anything, they're reminders that you're not doing this work alone. And hopefully, me reading along and giving my insight is a reminder that you're not doing this work alone. You're part of a growing community of people who are choosing to regulate their emotions, open their hearts, and live as their future self right here in the present moment. If you haven't already, make sure to check out the full playlist of Becoming Supernatural on my YouTube channel. Every chapter, every live, every reflection, it's all there to support you on your journey. The link is in my TikTok bio, or if you're here on YouTube, it's on my page. And remember, when you lead with your heart, the mind eventually follows. So stick with it, guys. I don't know who needs to hear this, but this is your reminder, and you got this.